the member for Wollondilly.
Good evening and thank you, Mr Temporary Speaker. Today I rise to speak about the silence of the people of Wollondilly's concerns, in particular the countless volunteers, advocates and those who've given their own time to my beautiful electorate. Wollondilly doesn't have the benefit of a single large CBD. It is a string of villages surrounded by farm and environmentally protected lands. The people who live in these villages have to travel for hours to work and to school, while the cost of living pressures are constantly at their doors. For a long time, the elected local members and parties have taken my electorate for granted, and there are many, many issues that stretch all over my electorate. While some have been fixed or have been delivered by the change of government, and thank you very much for examples of the stopping of the Sydney water sell-off and the halting of the Warragamba Dam wall rising, there is still a long list of issues that need fixing right now, as well as other issues that are certain to arise. That's why my speech today in this place, through you, Mr Speaker, is to the people and for the people of Wollondilly. I'm here to be their voice, regardless of whether the benches behind me are empty or full, or I will take this opportunity to speak up for every one of them. What's been missing for a long time in politics in Wollondilly is the simple act of listening to each other and being represented. That's why I'm excited to announce my own community groups that are open for application right now. The silence that every person in my electorate has felt from their member has been ended, and the silence they have been forced into ends with my invitation to join with me to speak up for what's needed. To this end, I'm going to invite every person who's interested in speaking up and giving their opinion on what's important to them in my electorate to join one of my community groups. I'm very pleased to be able to host 10 major community groups covering all the areas that New South Wales State Government delivers funding to or has jurisdiction over. As an independent, the beauty is I get to vote with my community on every matter that's in this place. Something I'm sure that the government and opposition benches will envy and hear about many times over the next 4 years. While this is an amazing opportunity, without the community's support, I would not be standing here. So the way I see it, I need the community to have their say on every issue relating to them. Both Wollondilly and Wingecarribee councils do have community groups that feed information to both councils, but these existing groups do not cross over council boundaries and are reliant on the limited resources of the community service teams at the council. While there are very many energetic people on these groups, often outcomes are attached to delivery plans and longer outcomes of the councils. The long drawn-out process of the council community groups, unfortunately, has led to a lot of disenfranchisement of community members and no doubt council officers frustrated at the process. My groups are going to cover all the areas including health, education, environment and sustainability, heritage, tourism and the arts, diversity and inclusion, small business, jobs, rural lands and farming, planning and growth, roads and public transport, emergency services and recovery, sports, recreation and community spaces. The outcomes for these groups will depend on each individual area and topic, and the outcomes that the group will work towards are including, but not limited to, minister representation, information sharing, policy framework, legislation review and intergovernmental engagement. The groups are intended to have scopes over them to cover the major areas that the government departments and service provision that's supplied by the New South Wales government funding. There are a number of areas that are not covered, including justice and more sensitive matters, and obviously these will be worked on directly by myself and the office due to their nature. The membership I'm seeking from these community groups, I hope, is going to be diverse in experience, gender, age and location. And it's not meant to be an echo chamber of my supporters. I strongly believe the diversity of opinions of residents should be valued in each area. And I will value these meetings, and I'm allocating staff members to facilitate and ensure the diversity of opinions are heard respectfully and manners are worked on towards providing a voice to the residents' needs. I look forward to receiving community applications for these groups over the next couple of weeks. Interested members of the community will have an application form in their letterbox soon, and applications are actually open on my website right now, which I'm sorry to say, my community groups will be limited to the residents of Wollondilly and Wingecarribee for other people. So for those others in the chambers that have been listening, you will truly know my community is my major priority. I'm very glad to invite all of you to come and visit, and when you come, if you have the chance, the kettle's on and my staff are waiting for you. There's a welcome mat at the door, the blinds are up, and there's even a bowl for your dog if you come with some water in. Thank you very much.